Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing I don't mind about Mr. Snow is he's not as obnoxious as Trump. I mean, so far he hasn't done anything that makes me want to ban him.
No, he keeps the lines situated. His facts are so non-existent.
Well, that and they're skewed.
Yeah.
And it's only like half the fact. And then and then added other things on.
Now this is Whiskey Jack Sunday Serendipity. What is this, Brahms or Bach? I forget.
Bach. It says it right up in the corner.
Oh, that helps. And,
what would you do without us, Craig? What would you do?
Four harpsichords. I'd just get everything wrong. 4 harpsichords. 4. Got 4. And Jack's really been into harpsichords lately. And he had one recently. It was 1. Now we got 4.
Yeah, you all will have to live without me tomorrow. I'm going swimming.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, lovely.
All right, well, the other thing we got going on is, of course, Mother's Day.
Yeah.
We're getting into Mother's Day today. Pat D started us off with a nice little cartoon here.
I mean, fair.
Yeah. And let's see, I'll put some. I think I got some Brahms for the background today. But we'll get back to the harpsichords. But Mother's Day, and so now you're going to go. What did you do, Jamie, for Mother's Day? Well, first of all, tell us about your phone call.
Oh, that my daughter called me at the anniversary of the time of her birth. So I got the 5:51 a.m.
The actual time.
Yeah.
But your cats you're out on the coast, West Coast, so was that 5 a.m.
The cats get
West
me up
Coast?
between 4 and 4:30 saying we're starving.
So they'd already gotten you up, right? What are you doing for your mom's birthday, Katie?
You mean for Mother's Day?
Mom's birthday. Oh, Mom's Day. This is Mother's Day.
Well, yesterday we went out with my uncles. That's where I got the picture of the toilet brush, the Trump toilet brush. Anyway, so we went out to lunch with my uncles and my uncle's girlfriend and everything. And then now today we're going to PF Chang's because PF Chang's is one of my grandma's favorite places to go and have chicken lettuce wraps. So we're going to go there and have chicken lettuce wraps in memory of her.
I think it's funny you're doing that. We're doing the same thing, except, my mom, it's funny. My mom's favorite food. My mom hated food. She just barely ate. But she loved shrimp. And so we're going to Red Lobster today for endless shrimp.
Oh, there you go.
Are we going to watch a movie or something?
Yeah, my grandma loved her dim sum.
Oh, I love Sunday dim sum.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't put the comments on the screen. Let's see, is Agri there? Hello, Agri. Is your mom alive? All right. Dexter's here.
Hi, Dexter.
Good morning, everybody.
Dexter. Yeah, our celebration is getting postponed. My daughter is coming up next month, so my son is taking us both out for high tea at the Pink Chandelier.
Oh, that's right. We have to do that sometime, is do high tea, because we've talked about it. Right, Mom?
Yeah.
That's my mom. If you
Hey,
heard
Mom.
her say yep.
Hi.
They're saying
Katie,
hi.
Mom. That's Katie Mom. Katie Mom.
Yeah.
Agri, tell us about your mom. Is she alive? and we're talking about moms today. What about your mom, Dexter?
My mother passed away in 2004 at age 82.
Oh,
82's all right. And mine, I can't remember when she passed away, but I got a little video coming up here I made about her. And we're going to that's funny you do that, Katie, because I've always thought that's a great way. I do that with other people. Of course, it's an excuse to eat, but
it is an excuse to eat, but still,
it's to honor the dead by eating food they liked. I think that's a great way to do it.
Well, and the thing is, the last couple of years we haven't been able to do. Normally, we go on her birthday or around her birthday, and my mom's been in Arizona during that, so then we don't go.
Oh.
So we figured Mother's Day is a good
my mom and both my grandmothers were great cooks. So I ate well when I was young.
Well,
that's what got me into cooking. Is my mom hated food and she just didn't put it much into cooking, and I had to learn to cook to eat.
Yeah. My grandma was very semi homemade kind of person. So like everything was like from a can, but she would say it's homemade kind of thing. She used to take Oreos and scrape the Oreo logo off of them.
Oh.
Yeah. And she would
sugar
and butter sandwiches when we were kids.
She opened the can at home. So
yeah. But my mom has become a really good cook. And because of she being a good cook, I've learned to be a good cook. I'm the baker. I'm more of the well, not really the baker. I do cookies and stuff, but I'm the one who does like the more outlandish, like doing cakes and, different projects and stuff. But because of her, I can do that.
My mother was from Swiss heritage, but she made the best pizza I've ever had in my life.
Ooh.
Homemade pizza she'd make from scratch.
Only in the last couple of years.
I agree.
I've only in the last couple of years started making pizza. What does Agri say? I have no mother. I'm the love child of Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott. It happened on the set of the original Roadhouse movie. Oh, Agri.
Hey, at least it's not the tradition of sin eaters where you have to eat the meal off of the corpse.
Oh. Hey, I've got a quick update, just a slight detour here. The other day I mentioned that in 1975 I was on the National Mall there for the kickoff to the bicentennial in the giant fireworks display, and I saw a helicopter go over, and we thought it was Gerald Ford, then we thought, no, it couldn't be. By God, I researched the presidential records, and it was him in Marine One. He was going from the White House to Fort McHenry to give a speech, and he went right along the Potomac for a short distance there. And so I answered my own question.
That's good. That's why God made the internet, isn't it? So
yeah, I didn't think I'd ever be able to find that out, and it took me like 5 minutes.
And of course, now Trump is painting the reflecting pool a bright blue.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Did you see where he took his motorcade out there and they rode in the tidal basin? It was emptied. It was emptied at least, and they rode through it. It just never ends. It's crazy. And that's when when he went to the reflecting pool that he yelled at that reporter for asking him a pretty reasonable question about it. And he went off on her and called her a bitch and everything. She was just saying, how could you do something like this when, people are dying and when there's so many serious things going on and you're focused on these projects. She didn't ask it. I actually just quoted her in a much more hostile way than the way she originally said it. But it was a fair question, and he just went off on her.
Distractions are him.
Yeah. But anyway, I was looking at your list over here, Katie. You sent of talking about where we could go for restaurants these days. Who's good?
There's more of them. I just gotta find it.
Yeah, you got so Shake Shack is okay. Gives heavily Democrat. I don't know. Blaze Pizza does it. Jack in the Box gives. I don't think there's any of those around here. Chipotle gives heavily to Democrats. Okay, well, Chipotle is in our rotation about once a week.
We like Chipotle.
But
Popeyes, the thing is,
Popeyes is
Chipotle and Starbucks are the same company.
Who in Starbucks?
So Chipotle and Starbucks are the same company.
They are.
Yeah. They're under the same blanket company.
Oh, huh. And Popeyes gives heavily to Democrat. Huh. Five Guys doesn't give to politics. Doesn't give to politics. Okay. What about Red Lobster? We're going to Red Lobster today to have endless shrimp in honor of my mom because that was her favorite food. Shrimp.
Is Red Lobster?
Yeah, is Red Lobster okay?
That was my wife's favorite restaurant.
Red Lobster?
Yeah.
That was my mom's favorite restaurant. She loved that place, and she hated food. But she liked Red Lobster.
Mine was always some kind of a rib shack. I like ribs no matter how you fix them.
Oh, yeah.
She drugged me to Red Lobster many times.
In 2024, they were supporting the Democratic Party.
Now, are we talking about Red Lobster?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now the thing is, Bill Darden founded Red Lobster, and he was a real right-wing Republican. He lived in our neighborhood, as a matter of fact, in Orlando. Red Lobster started in Orlando, and but then when he died, and they sold it to General Foods, I think it is. Then they got out of political involvement. And,
right. Well, actually, Darden restaurants. Darden sold Red Lobster.
Yeah.
In
General
2014.
Foods. Darden bought it back from General Foods, and then Darden sold it again. They sold that and Olive Garden. They also owned Olive Garden, which he
what
also.
What about PepsiCo and KFC?
Let's check that? Olive Garden now.
Olive Garden is starting to lean left.
Okay. Woo.
Oh yeah. Oh, David will be happy about that because he's big Olive Garden. I guess Olive Garden might be David's favorite.
Their parent company, Darden Restaurants, was conservative, but since the sale, they're starting to move left.
Good.
What about PepsiCo and KFC? I think PepsiCo owns KFC. At least they used to.
Let me see. KFC.
Coca-Cola goes left.
Well, yeah, Coca-Cola. They got in trouble? They did something in response to Trump. And the MAGA boycotted them for a while, or I forget what it was.
KFC is
they favorite Republicans.
Who?
Some
KFC.
franchise do, but it's Yum Brands, Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut. It depends on who the franchisee is. Some lean left, some go right.
Right.
Well, now our Silicon Tomato, Silas, I don't know what he's going to have to say about all this discussion this morning, but here was his review of our show yesterday. In yesterday's daily installment of the Digital Diner, Crawford and his gang excavate. That's an interesting use of it. I don't edit these. Whenever I put Silas on the site, by the way, under his byline, I don't edit a thing. When I edit him and use some of his information, I put his name at the bottom. And on my, just so you know, under my avatar. Anyway, I have a real system here for so. But when I put him under his screen name, I don't edit anything. So this word excavate genuine outrage. That's an interesting way of putting it. Anyway, we excavated genuine outrage over voter suppression only to quickly bury it under agonizing audio glitches and bizarre tangents about sheep detectives. It is a staggering achievement in billowing oxygen. That's another good phrase. That accidentally stumbles into sharp, data-driven truth.
That was me.
Come for the biting critique of our burning republic, but stay because you are helplessly trapped in a labyrinth of Eurovision commentary.
I guess I'm the agonizing audio glitch.
It's an 85% glorious dumpster fire. I love it.
I told him to make up his own, Rotten Tomatoes type rating system based upon whatever criteria he chooses.
Everybody did get the review of Sheep Detectives.
Yes,
I did see your review. It was
I'm gonna wait for streaming.
The way I took your review of Sheep Detectives is you encourage us to see it someday, but not necessarily go pay for it.
At least he stuck around for the bagpipe rock. That was great.
Yeah, so we'll see what he has to say. But he's very critic. He's tough critic. He's tough critic. That's Silicon Tomato. Silicon Tomato.
Eggering is a go out to eat courtesy of mother.
Oh, when I was a kid, anytime my mother shouted time for supper, we would all go jump in the car. That's pretty good.
Well, Mr. Snow, the big bad beautiful.
Oh, Mr. Snow's here. Run for your lives. Run for your lives.
Is decidedly voter suppression.
It is a generous...
Even Republicans are voting against it once they've read the thing.
All right, we're talking about mothers right now, Mr. Snow. I hope you have one. I'm kidding with you now. I'm not making fun of your mother or nothing, or trashing your mother. I'm not doing that. We are interested though in people's mothers today. W. Jack's here.
Hey.
Hi, Jack.
We already started out with. Luckily, today's Sunday Serendipity is not copyrighted, so we'll go back and forth into that.
Okay.
But right now, our buddy Howard Mortman sent this over because he knows I'm a sucker for any clips of Robert Byrd from C-SPAN. Robert Byrd just makes me laugh. I have a long history with him going back to when I was a page in the Senate, and he used to make us show up at 6 o'clock in the morning because he was such a jerk. But anyway, here we go. His mother poem. He does these from memory.
To mix the dough or make a batter long ago.
When I was only he's always doing poems, and he always did one on Mother's Day. I don't know if he did the same one or not.
When Mother used to mix the dough or make a batter long ago, when I was only table high, I used to like just standing by and watching her, for all the while she'd sing a little, maybe smile and talk with me and tell me what? Well, things I never quite forgot.
Uh-oh, he forgot the poem.
And I'd ask her how she baked a cake, how she...
Anyway, why does he make me laugh so much? Do you all find him humorous, or is it just me?
He was a character.
Yeah.
And by that time, he was an established character.
Yeah.
He did a lot for West Virginia, though. He got those additions onto those bills.
Yeah, and just drive the roads. I mean, for such a poor state, and it's poor, West Virginia has the best roads and bridges in the world.
He defined pork on those bills, man.
That's a lot like Western Kansas.
Oh,
The
yeah.
little state roads out there drive as smooth as the interstate.
He was a master at that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you're right, Mr. Going back in the early part of, like a lot of those Southern senators, he had ties to.
Yep, in the early 40s.
Klan.
And then he left.
Just like what's his name from South Carolina, Strom Thurmond.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
He had an illegitimate black child and was still a racist. If we're going to play that game, Mr. Snow, I can toss Republican racist and Democrat racist around.
God. If you actually look at the information, he was actually one that filibustered the 1964 Civil Rights Act. He said being in the Klan was the greatest mistake of his life. So, and you have to think about it. I'm going to say this. I'm not trying to say the Klan. Yes, he was. Strom Thurmond was in the Klan. He admitted he was. Like,
okay. So noted.
I won't argue with Mr. Snow because he demands incredibly ignorant.
Don't help with him.
Well, you reveal yourself right here. Look at this, how he puts this. We right wingers use to label. See, that's it. See, you're revealing yourself.
No, AI does not, because you looked at
revealing
Gronk.
yourself as a propaganda.
You look at Gronk.
Anyway, you got us off track, Mr. Snow.
It's kind of interesting when Mr. Snow came over to our other website yesterday, and he posted a thing of, this shows his ignorance. He posted a video of Nancy Pelosi encouraging people to go to Chinatown. The problem is Mr. Snow has never done a timeline.
Oh my God.
And February 24th is the same day that the president said everything was under control, too.
Yeah.
With COVID. But on February 24th, we had less than 50 cases of COVID in the United States. So it did not make any sense to avoid Chinatown simply because they were Chinese.
Well, I'm always happy to get into a discussion about Donald Trump's role in COVID anytime anybody wants. I'm happy to have that chat.
Well, I went, and I'm going to post it online here. I just never got around to it yesterday because I started reading the timeline on COVID. The Wikipedia has one, and it just kind of brings back that whole spring.
Yeah, I just think have kind of wanted to suppress it in their minds, and
Mr. Snow just revealed what he is.
Yep.
Chinatown was not the most likely place.
Nope.
In fact, the outbreak in New York City came from Italy.
Nancy Goes to Chinatown. That could be a great Broadway musical, Eggery says.
That does sound like a fun one.
But where'd you find these harpsichords? You gone crazy? Were you going crazy with harpsichords lately?
Last week, after I enjoyed the Mozart with some match, I said, well, let's find some more harpsichords. And I got to thinking Bach probably had some, so I did Bach and harpsichord into YouTube, and that popped up.
There it is.
And I thought, man, you can't beat having four of them at once.
Look at that. There, that really is 4 harpsichords right there.
Yep.
What is it about the sound of harpsichords that's so special? It's got like a tinny sound. It's not like a perfect sound. Regular pianos sound better, I guess.
Harpsichords take a lot of work because you've got to constantly keep your fingers moving.
Oh, really?
Unlike pianos, which hit the string and then it'll sit there and vibrate for a while, a harpsichord is a unique little one note. And then if you want to keep the sound going, you've got to hit it again. Because it plucks, it doesn't hit. There's a difference. The piano is a little different.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a square piano that I inherited from a relative, and they predated the grand piano, but I guess they came after harpsichords. I guess.
No.
And the way it went. Yeah, I learned to play the piano, and then I forgot. I just forgot.
In fact, a lot of the harpsichord pieces of the Bach and Mozart era are done on pianos now. So that when you start researching them, they start talking about keyboard pieces.
Oh. Well, that was a good find, this one this morning. Every Sunday Serendipity. And we got it on YouTube. We got the playlist. Play it all. And then Jamie found this for us.
But you don't have tantrums like that anymore, do you?
Now, Jamie.
Yes.
This stuff's here.
It's a musical based on the suffragist movement.
Yeah, and this is a song about let mother vote.
Uh-huh.
Look at that.
You're very nobody controls.
Let mother vote. We raised you after all. Won't you thank the lady you have loved since you were small? We reared you, cheered you, helped you when you fell. With your blessing, we could help America as well.
Well, I'll stop it there just in case it's copyrighted. 20 seconds is safe.
And we do have to give Mr. Snow credit. He was right about one thing. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
The very first identified case in the U.S. was in the state of Washington. And
that's coming back to me about, there was a nursing home there, wasn't it? Was it a what? Did they start in a nursing home in state of Washington or something?
Oh, it was a Chinese man visiting, but they found earlier ones also on the West Coast for California, Oregon, and Washington. So yes, it was initially the very first time, and then the East Coast got them from Europe, but it started in the U.S. in the state of Washington and here on the West Coast. So let him have that one.
So noted.
Well, the problem he has is he assumes that only Chinese people go to China.
Yeah, that's true. or are in Chinatown for that matter.
Right.
Yeah, well, Chinatown was not the epicenter of it.
No, it wasn't.
And that's what he's trying to claim. And, that's just, I hate to say this, but that just borders right on racism. Mm-hmm. He needs to really examine himself. And I guess I started paying attention to this on January 1st when China said they had a problem, because China's really notorious for hating to admit that they can't handle their problems.
Yeah.
So when they said on January 1st they had an outbreak, I started watching it. So I kind of paid attention. And it's just basically, when in the middle of March, the outbreak in New York City came from Italy. It came in through the back door. So doing a blockade of China wouldn't have done anything.
And it wasn't declared as a global pandemic until 2023. So there was, between the initial cases and when we went completely full blown, was almost a 3-year period.
Well, we were pretty much full blown April 2020.
Right.
It was,
one of the most,
and the problem was we didn't know enough about it, and it was scary, and it was spreading fast.
Right.
Well, one of the most revealing things about Trump and COVID was the audio tapes of the interviews that he did with Bob Woodward in real time when it was going on, and he told Woodward that he was lying about it. It's a pretty incredible concessions that he can't run away from, because it's his voice. He says that
stop the testing.
Yeah. I mean, it's the admissions in those interviews by his own voice on audio are incredible. Historians, he is going to lose any place in history for being anything remotely close to a good president because of his handling of COVID in that first term, and probably, I think now, the Iran war in this term. I think the Iran war is becoming the COVID is the new COVID for him.
Well, and some it has some of the basic same feel to it, in that Trump can't let his smart people run things. He has to meddle in it and make it his. And that's why he's not a really good president, because you got a good president lets their smart people run things.
Well, now let's see if we can argue about the Transcontinental Railroad.
In the mid-19th century, traveling across America was a journey of life and death. To get from New York to California, you had to endure months in a
157 years ago today.
Around the tip of South America. The country was divided by vast
The Transcontinental Railroad was combined,
in the midst of a civil war. President
I'd argue it was like the first broadband
railroad that would span the entire continent.
You can kind of compare it to broadband internet.
The Central Pacific
very much the railroads
from the east. The challenge
in fact, if you didn't have a railroad running through your world, you were pretty much isolated until we started getting
across scorching deserts. For 7 years, they fought
the automobile and trucks,
moving inch by inch toward each other. Finally, on May 10th, 1869,
there it is, May 10th, 1869,
Utah.
The golden spike.
Final spike made of solid gold.
That's the golden spike. They've got it in a museum out there in Utah.
Yeah.
Once took 6 months, now
the
6 days. News and goods
thing about it is, what it really did was let
superpower. But more importantly, the golden spike
people in the east move west and take over the land from the Indians.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it was probably more than anything what drove the final nail in the Indian way of life, the Plains Indian.
I mean, one way of putting it is the railroads allowed us to commit genocide against the Indians, whose some say ancestors, the Chinese, helped build the railroad. We'll connect up all the racism there.
That's an interesting story too, is the Chinese workers and how they were treated.
Did you see what I put up about Negro Bar in Sacramento. It did. The sign did not read Negro the first time I drove into town in 89.
Yeah. And that reminds me, I had a relative, an aunt in Kentucky who wrote a column in the local newspaper there, and just kind of a gossipy thing and her observations. And she got all mixed up. They had a creek in the county there that was originally called Nigger Creek. And then they changed it in later decades to Negro Creek. And then they changed it to something innocuous like Coconut Creek. I mean, they just changed it up. And she was just and her whole point of view is that I've thought of this with some of the arguments I've heard the last few days. Her whole point of view is that it was racist against to take the name of their creek away from them. That it was we were discriminating blacks by taking away the name of their creek. I mean,
that actually was. There were some protests along that line in Sacramento over the name change.
Did I hear the parrot?
Yeah, he's been wanting. I don't know what he wants today. He wants something, and I think maybe he got him some outdoor time yesterday. It was nice and warm, and I set his cage out on the back step.
Oh, maybe he's wanting to go back out.
It is, but it's a little cooler. It's not. It's cloudy out there today, so it's.
What is his name? What is his name? I forget. The parrot. The parrot's name. I can't remember his name. Kiki.
Yeah,
we never actually seen him.
That was his name when he is a rescue bird. An old lady had him, and then when she went into nursing home, they had to find a new home for him.
Well, I've never seen him. I was beginning to question whether you were making it all up. Now I heard him.
Well, if I was smarter and knew how to use my phone to get online here,
you could walk over there.
Video of Kiki and his craziness.
Getting back to the railroads, did you guys know the significance of the railroads in the Civil War? There was a lot of troop movement that could never have been done unless the railroads were in full operation.
That's how the first infantry from Minnesota got to Washington, D.C. for that.
Oh, really? For the war, to fight in the war?
We were the first ones to volunteer for the Civil War.
Is that right?
Yeah, Minnesota.
Oh, really? Wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you know?
That's why we took the Confederate flag, and we still have it. We're not giving that back. Virginia can suck it.
Huh. That's neat. That's good to know about them.
And we also had a situation like that we found out that, there's a big lake in Minneapolis that used to be called Lake Calhoun. And we found out that the man that was named after was a slave owner and beat his slaves repeatedly. And no. So in the late 90s, Paul Wellstone, miss you. He was a man. He would have been an amazing. He would have been a great president. I swear.
Rest in peace.
Yes, such a great man. But he actually introduced the idea to change it to the Native American name, the Dakota name for the lake, which was Bade-Makaska, and we got it changed.
Huh.
So it's now Bade-Makaska.
Well, I made my own video for my own take on the Transcontinental Railroad for the Echoes of America here. Echoes of America, our countdown to the 250th. Let's skip the textbook patriotism and look at the actual engine of American progress. Glorious, chaotic. Extortion. 157 years ago on May 10th, the Golden Spike. The Transcontinental Railroad is finished, the coasts are connected, and corporate titans are popping champagne. But that historic photo op was 2 days late. Why? Union Pacific VP Thomas Durant was rolling west to claim his glory right after embezzling millions and stiffing the men swinging the hammers. Bad move. When his luxury rail car hit Wyoming, 400 unpaid laborers ambushed the train and held him hostage. It took 2 days sweating in a boxcar before the railroad coughed up the 50 grand in back pay. So here's to 250 years of the American experiment. We build great things, not just with ingenuity, but through the undeniable leverage of an angry, unpaid mob with heavy chains.
Interesting.
You need to make a full movie on it.
Well, you know what? I've learned I keep these to 60 seconds because, man, on YouTube, this one's already gotten over 2,000 views this morning. But if they're anything over 60 seconds, boom, the traffic just disappears. And I'm not doing it for what I'm trying to do is reach people who only want this thing is even doing well on TikTok. Can you believe that?
That's good though.
I'm trying to do things that people that can only handle 60 seconds of history would watch. Maybe I can get some information across.
Hello,
Blue's
happy
here.
Mother's Day.
You too.
Thank you, ma'am. Yep.
Even if it's a fur baby. And I was a fur baby mom for a long time, and then
it's the woodpecker on the hummingbird feeder right now.
There you go.
Oh, they are notorious, aren't they? I mean, I had bird feeders for my redbirds in Orlando, and I could not keep those woodpeckers off. Although the thing about woodpeckers, they are gorgeous birds. Or do you have pretty ones?
We have like three different kinds, but the one that gets on there is the really pretty one with lots of red and very well marked. And he gets on the roof. And he pecks for a second to scare the hummingbirds away, and then he gets down on that. And then sometimes hummingbirds come back and swoop at him and make him fall off. But yeah, there's a fight.
Yeah, I had trouble with the woodpeckers and the bluebirds would come in. And I didn't have trouble with the blackbirds because they were too big to get on the feeder. But anyway, we're counting down to July 4th.
The woodpeckers don't stand a chance in my world because the squirrels get to it first.
Oh yeah. Well, I finally figured out how to beat the squirrels. I found a bird feeder that the squirrels could not figure out, and it drove them crazy, absolutely crazy. But
did squirrels bother your hummingbird feeder?
I never did have a hummingbird feeder.
This is just a hummingbird feeder, but they want that sugar water out of there.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, there's some of the woodpeckers that actually eat the sap of some of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
They drill the hole in and then.
He's got a tongue. He sticks his little tongue in the little thing there.
Well, I'm going to go feed the woodchuck today. I bought a bag of carrots for him.
You gonna feed the wood? You gonna feed the woodchuck?
Yeah, where I go watch trains, there's that hole there right by the outer tracks, and there's a hole. I've seen him go in there many times. So I bought a bag of carrots, and I'm just going to take them down there and kind of throw them around that hole there, and I'm sure he'll eat them eventually. If I get to see him or not, I'm sure they'll be gone.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
They like carrots and broccoli.
Yeah, that's nice.
Broccoli,
they love sweet potato vines too.
They like everything.
Now, I like you go,
not any greens.
Now I identify, but by the way, for those who want to keep up, and it'll be on the video later. You can click on the video and read. Jesse and Mr. Snow are having a wild time over there, and they're having a sidebar. So
God bless you, Jamie, on Mother's Day.
Jamie is Jesse is Jamie's alter ego in the chat panel.
What do you guys
can go back and read these chats, on the videos afterwards. They're all there. So.
What do you guys think about Governor Cuomo and If you got cable TV, he was on every day with an update. I thought he did a really good job of sort of calming people down.
Yeah.
He gotten all that bad press after all that, but I mean, during COVID, I thought he was great. Every day he gave that report. I watched it every day.
We did, but the problem was he wasn't quite honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we later learned that. But he did serve a great public purpose. I found it very educational. I learned a lot about what was happening, you know, from him, and certainly not our president, who was just lying about everything.
Well, the contrast was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the problem we've got to remember with the COVID is there was a need to slow down the panic. Because I know I did stuff that just, you know, I bought some, my favorite story is I bought some books just before the COVID, just as the COVID thing was going, saying, okay, I'm going to have to stay at home quite a bit. And the guy shipped them, and then he sent me an email, and I just got him, and he sent me an email apologizing for being sick because everybody was so sick down there in Dallas, Texas. And I looked, and I read that email, and I went out, and the box of books was sitting on my front porch. And I'm looking at this box of books and thinking about that email. Well, I get a bottle of bleach and make some bleach water, and I just soak that box. And then pull all the books out and do the same thing with them.
Did everybody else, because my relatives in California did this too. When we go get groceries, we like Clorox the outsides of the frozen foods and before we would take them into the house, and we would just leave the canned goods out in the garage and let them decompress until it was time to come inside. It was crazy. It's like, do you remember Cloroxing your groceries? Like,
yeah, there was that and toilet paper. They run on toilet paper.
Yeah. And you like the rubbing alcohol. I couldn't buy rubbing alcohol at my store anymore. It was gone.
Yep, hand sanitizer was gone. Hand sanitizer.
Early.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went thinking about the COVID because, like I say, I was fairly quick on the uptake on it, and so I thought, well, I went to my medicine cabinet, and I had a bottle of rubbing alcohol that had completely evaporated away. It was water,
right?
And so I thought, well, I better get some. And I went, and there wasn't any. And I happened to be going through the liquor store, and there was a bottle of Everclear.
Oh, there you go.
A couple of bottles of Everclear, which is my other favorite panic story. Is later on when we got our first mask, but the neighborhood, some people were making them, and so they gave it to the neighborhood groups to pass out to the people. And I had one of them, and I was using it, and I was sitting there listening to an NPR story in front of the grocery store, and they were talking about how you need to clean those masks because they get germs on the mask.
Oh, geez.
I'm sitting there looking at that, and I thought, well, I hadn't cleaned that in a while. And I thought, well, I'll just spray it with some Everclear, and I did that.
Oh my God!
Like the idiot I am, I put the mask on. Oh. I'm telling you what, that is a rush.
Don't tell the kids.
Well, I have. In case you can't tell, I have
that we're introverts, though.
Allergies and asthma. You can't tell from my voice all the time. So I always had masks at work, like disposable masks at work, because if they would tar a roof somewhere or they would work on something, it would bother me. So I had masks way ahead of time. I always had masks. And then when I knew it was going to happen, I bought masks like end of January, first part of February. But I was wearing masks to the grocery store. I was the only one in the store with a mask on in January. I knew it was happening. And people thought I was nuts. And we had our IT guy come from Scotland, and I left him a mask to wear on the plane and some emergency, that little powder and stuff like that was going to fix anything. And he wasn't going to take it. And then I guess he said, yeah, maybe I should. But that was like January 20th. So I was like reading it ahead of the curve. Like I had stockpiled stuff already.
January 20th of what year?
Of 2020.
Yeah, my wife died on January 20th, 2021 of COVID.
Oh,
Done gone got a kick out of your story there, Jack. Done gone.
When I was
analyzed alcohol.
When I was
hello, Done gone. Where you've been gone too long? Keep coming back. I always like to see you.
When I was 9 years old, I had an appendectomy, and back in those days, the anesthesia that they used was ether, and all that did was get you drunk instantly and pass you out in 9 seconds. And you woke up feeling sick as hell.
That's how I lost my tonsils. Under ether.
Under ether? Isn't that nice when you wake up from that? Oh my God.
Jamie, you've been busy over there with Mr. Snow. You're keeping Mr. Snow out of our. You're keeping him out of our hair here. You're keeping him busy.
Yeah, Jamie, I kind of feel like what you're doing is just like what Craig does when he goes and watches the mega rallies.
Yeah. Jeez. It's not worth it.
Kelsey's included in that, by the way.
They're pretty hopeless, when it comes to thinking as an individual with different positions on different issues.
Yeah.
He basically took people who are kissing his ass. That's what he has in his cabinet.
You gotta.
Lord, we don't even all agree on anything.
Yeah, around our house, we did nothing other than wear a mask in public. We depend on our rather unique immune system. We don't catch anything.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I had the flu exactly once in my life, and it took both kids getting the flu and my husband and everybody I knew getting sicker than dogs. And I finally got it and got over it in 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah. Liam.
Fairly lucky that way. I always say, this was the other strange thing with COVID is I've never really been one to worry about whether my hands were clean or dirty.
Right.
And I would be working out construction and stuff, and just go ahead and grab a sandwich and eat it, and dirty hands and all. And with COVID, I suddenly started washing my hands almost with just absolutely had to kind of a deal, like I had compulsive disorder of some kind.
Yeah, around here we follow the 30-second rule if it hits the floor.
We had one guy.
You give it 30 seconds? Our house it was 10. It was 10 seconds.
Yep, 10.
Yeah. We had a guy
that's generous. 30
we had a guy
seconds
at work that was out of work, out of the office in must have been May of that year, because I was back in the office at that point, but most of the people were gone. But he was in a different department, and he came back after having COVID, and he was only gone for a few days. Like, he did not stay home the recommended amount of time. And I went to my car. I howled like a wild animal, and I called my boss, and she's like, I don't know what to tell you to do. I don't know what to tell you, because she was working from home. And I was just like, oh my God. And so, I was wearing my mask in the office, and there were only 4 other people in an 8,000 square foot office, but he showed up, and I was like, oh gosh.
Now, Jack, before we go, you haven't played our Eurovision contest yet. Every day now we're picking a song.
Oh.
You got to pick a country, and then we review the song.
Yeah, I picked a dud yesterday.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, we didn't like Blues pick yesterday, Denmark. But it's the European. Oh, by the way, we had European. We had Europe Day yesterday in the Embassy Road.
Yeah,
near me, and it was really cool. All the European embassies opened up. They had food out front, and I didn't know about it. We were going to Wegmans and drove by it, or I would have planned to go visit some of the countries. But anyway, that was fun. All right, Jack. You got to pick a country. You got to pick a country, and then you got to review the music. And you can be critical if you want. We got them all here. There's a few countries that have boycotted Eurovision because they let Israel in. So Ireland, and,
the Netherlands,
out. But we got Switzerland, Greece, Malta. We already did Moldova. We haven't done Estonia, Austria, Azerbaijan. We did Ukraine, Montenegro. We haven't done. I don't think we've done France. Did we do France? United Kingdom. What's your heritage, Jack? Is what, Scotland or no?
I am almost all.
No, I wasn't proven wrong.
English.
In fact, most of those names.
You're almost all what?
Yeah.
You're almost what, Jack?
All Southern English.
Oh, well, United Kingdom.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I already like the title of this one's song. Look, Mum, no computer. See what this one is. Oh, that sounds like Devo. Okay, Jack, we're ready for your 30-second review.
Well,
30 seconds.
First off, the man has a rotary dial phone. That wins him a lot of points.
That got your attention then.
Yeah. It's interesting. I've had a little trouble with the audio here. I can't quite hear what he's saying. Which the other thing with my hearing, I probably couldn't if his audio was better, even. But the video is fun. I enjoy the video.
Well, we'll give it a fun video, and we don't really care about the lyrics. So it's like,
kind of got a Green Day feel to it.
I've given up on lyrics a long time ago.
It reminds me of all the old MTV videos back in about '85.
That's exactly. I was thinking of
absolutely.
Gary Newman Cars and
what was the group that wore the
Flock
hat,
of Seagulls and
the Beat It or Not Beat It, but
Devo.
Who did Whip
Devo.
Devo. That's what the first few bars I heard of this, I thought of Devo.
Oingo Boingo.
Yeah,
it's got Hey, I saw a rotary phone on the Andy Griffith show, but they all had party lines, and you went through an operator. It didn't even have a dial on it. It was like a rotary. It was just a box. You just picked it up and talked to the operator. Is that a thing?
Get me Mount Pilot.
Yeah. So was that a thing where before you didn't even have to dial?
Yeah, you just picked it up and that was on.
But
Andy
it wasn't
Griffith.
it wasn't like one of those candlestick phones. It was a regular phone like that green one in the video.
Okay, we bailed out of Eurovision.
Before we go, I want to say 2 names of mothers that died this last year for no freaking reason, political reasons they were killed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
happy
Mother's Day to Marie Good and Melissa Hortman.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wind up with my mom. Anybody got a final mom story of your mom's?
No, but I love your mom was great, Craig. She was fun.
My mom made the best American goulash ever.
Oh, really?
Goulash.
Macaroni, tomatoes, and hamburger.
Yep.
My mom is
not the Greek, not the things, but
Hungary.
American goulash.
American goulash. Yep. Elbow macaroni.
My mom's in the room, but she's awesome. She really is.
Hi to Katie, Mom.
Yeah, she's cuddling with my son right now. They're watching Turning Red.
There's Toby.
There she is. Yeah, this was she was a PE teacher for 30 years or so anyway, and she got her education at University of Kentucky. And for those who know much about basketball, Adolph Rupp was Coach Rupp was a legend in Kentucky basketball, and
Oh.
she took one of his classes, and she tells the story here. So I'm going to wind us up with that, and that's our hour for Sunday Serendipity on March the 10th, the 157th anniversary of the Transcontinental Railroad.
Well, maybe your mother should have chosen to be pro-choice, Mr. Snow. Anyway, have a good day, all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See everybody over on trailmix.cc. Here's my mom talking about Coach Rupp to send us out here, and we'll talk to everybody tomorrow at 11 a.m. sharp.
Mom to get on the line? Yeah, I think so. You there, Mom? Hold on, let me see. All right, let's get her on. I wanted to tell her story about Adolph Rupp, who was the legendary coach that actually built the whole empire at the University of Kentucky decades ago.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, you were at University of Kentucky. You actually took a class from Adolph.
That's right. I was a physical education major and needed some more hours my senior year, and so we found this one, but I had to get permission to take it because a woman had never been in the class before, and so I finally went through all the rigmarole and got in the class, and of course I was the only woman there, and when he started his teaching and everything, he had a kind of bad mouth sometimes, and so he spit out something, and then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Craig," and I said, "What?" Like I didn't even hear it. I always said that Kentucky didn't know that funny shaped ball like the football, that they only knew the round ball, because they weren't that good in football, but boy, they knew how to play basketball. Then I finally did, after I graduated and everything, and got out in the field, different places where I was working, and those coaches would find out that I'd had that class, and they said, "Did you take notes?" And I said, "Yeah, because I ain't anything else to do." I said, "I just take notes." And they said, "Oh, we'll buy them from you." Well, I never could find them. We've looked, and Craig even made the statement